Chapter 2. The day everything changed. Ellea awoke to sunlight. A gentle cascade of gold streamed into the room, glistening like scattered diamonds as it fell across the bed where she and her parents had slept. For one brief, merciful moment, she forgot. Then her gaze drifted to her mother. Solana lay utterly pale, completely motionless. Ellea gasped. A sound caught in her throat and reached for her mother's shoulder. "Mama! Mama! Wake up!" There was no response. A primal scream tore from Ellea's lungs as she sobbed, crying out to her father, "Daddy! Mama's not waking up!" Mr. Thomas jolted awake. His eyes, heavy with sleep, landed on his wife. "Solana!" he cried, his voice raw with disbelief. Seeing her unresponsive, he too wept, his grief a loud, wrenching sound that filled the room. The glistening sun, now a stark, almost cruel presence streaming through the curtains, gave the unsettling impression that Solana's very soul was being carried away, drifting upward, beckoned by the light. That Monday morning descended as a day of profound, unbearable sorrow. Arrangements were swiftly made to bury Solana at the town's Catholic church, St. Margaret's. Only a sparse few of the townfolk came to pay their respects, a testament to the fact that most in the town were considered heretics. The parish priest, Father James Casey, a tall, slender man with a long, flowing gray beard and a kind face that held a gentle sorrow, delivered a beautiful sermon. His voice, steady and resonant, spoke highly of Solana's unwavering faith and compassionate spirit, offering the only true solace to the shattered hearts of Mr. Thomas and Ellea. They laid Solana's body to rest in a quiet plot in the church's cemetery that Friday afternoon. That night, Mr. Thomas seemed utterly inconsolable, crying himself to sleep, the gaping void left by his wife's absence a torment. Ellea, too, was consumed by heartbreak, but amidst her tears, her mother's last words echoed in her mind. To remain strong, for herself and for her father. The very next day, a visitor arrived at their home. Ms. Thornberry, the widow of Mr. Thornberry, stood at the door. Her jet-black hair was pulled back in a tight bun at the back of her head, accentuating her perpetually thin smile that never quite reached her sharp, dark eyes. She carried herself with an unsettling stillness, almost as if she glided rather than walked. She was accompanied by her daughter, Eliza, a girl of 16 with blonde, shoulder-length hair falling in soft curls around her plump face. Her expression was usually set in a sullen pout, but today held a peculiar, eager glint in her eyes. Eliza carried a freshly baked apple pie, its inviting aroma a stark contrast to the coldness radiating from her. Ellea felt an immediate, unwelcome surge of resentment at their presence. She was still deep in mourning, and Ms. Thornberry had always possessed a subtle, unsettling air about her. Nonetheless, Ellea remembered her mother's lessons in proper manners. "Come in, please," she said politely. "Have a seat. I'll call my father." When Mr. Thomas emerged, he greeted Mrs. Thornberry with a hearty warmth, seeming rather genuinely pleased to have visitors. They settled around the kitchen table, and at her father's request, Ellea served tea and sliced the pie. As the afternoon wore on, Ellea's father and Ms. Thornberry appeared to be enjoying themselves immensely, catching up on town affairs, their laughter filling the room. A cold, knotting dread began to form in Ellea's stomach. She glanced at her father and Ms. Thornberry, their faces alight with mirth. Then her gaze shifted to Eliza, who met her eyes with a slow, unnerving, sinister smile. A bone-deep chill swept over Ellea. She knew, with an awful certainty, that something was profoundly wrong. Ellea's mother just died, and something is already very wrong. Check the link in bio to find out what.